What's up everyone, Kyrios here, and today we're going to do the ultimate crafting guide. Well, I like to think it's at least ultimate. Now, this video is way overdue, mainly because I wanted to prove to you without any doubt all the possibilities, or most of the possibilities that you could possibly do. So we saved up 50 to 60 keystones and crafting materials, so we can do everything from seeing all the options from the first one, trying out the worst options, trying out the best options, trying out different types of furniture, trying out different types of gifts, trying out different nodes, overcharging the first node, aka limit breaking it with 6 keystones, overcharging the second node to see if we can get some overcharged sub nodes, and then just try and see every single sub node and actually choose them. I literally wasted keystones choosing the worst ones just so we can see how crappy it is. So we're gonna have this primer. Check the chapters down below. This video is probably gonna be pretty long, so I want you guys to be able to come back to this video, choose the chapter. So we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about how you overflow and when you might want to overflow, and times you might want to go to tier 2, what you're really looking for as you progress past needing furniture and a few other things. And then I'm going to break it down and showcasing the different things. We're going to showcase what metal looks like. We're going to showcase what radiant looks like. So then you know exactly what to do with crafting and you can progress faster. Guys, once again, sub, like, all that goodness. Follow my twitch.tv channel. Thank you again for everyone that helped me live last night to get all this information. Let's kick off the video. All right, the basics. Okay, so this is an overview of the nodes. So when you do crafting, you're going to start off in node 1, which is going to require a keystone. That's going to spawn 5 sub nodes at node 1. It's going to give you ranging options from crappy to maybe amazing. At that point, most of your crafts are going to end here. But every now and then, you're going to want to move on to node 2 if you get 5 really bad subnodes. Now, the node of 2 is defined by the subnode 1. For example, we could choose subtle, which has low-grade substances. Now, the reason we choose this is to open the gambit on subnode 2. We'll go into this in detail a little bit later in the video. But as you can see, you have all these options on node 2 now in order to fill that gauge. Now that you know that, let's move on to overcharging. Before we move on to overcharging, just a quick little tip. You can see that there's timers on the crafting here. They vary anywhere from 30 minutes to 6 hours. The higher the timer, the better quality you're going to get. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek. Okay, overcharging, a concept of using additional resources in order to get a chance of getting a high quality sub node. For example, on node 1, you would use multiple keystones, in this case 5, in order to supercharge this node to give you a chance to get a supercharged sub node. As you can see in the video, on the left hand side, you see a very glowy sub node. Now that sub node will up the chances of a high quality result. Now, every node you have, whether it's supercharged or not, is going to have a chance to give you different variant items. Those items are defined by the title of the node that I have circled here. Now, we're going to go into that in detail in just a little bit, but you need to keep both of these in mind. Overall, heed my words. This is not worth it. Don't do it. Don't overcharge. Don't waste your keystones. Do one at a time. Not worth it. All right, overcharging node 2. So in circumstances where you get really bad nodes on the first one and you're done with furniture and flowers and all that goodness, you're going to want to move on to node 2. Now, there's only 2 situations where you're going to want to overcharge node 2. One, you have a ton of regular XP books, or 2, you have the crafting material pack that you buy monthly. Now, generally, you're not going to want to do this. Typically, what you're going to want to do is use those monthly crafting materials, or use 20 regular books, just the single charge it. That's going to give you another option to get to the next tier to try and fish for some of those higher tier materials. All right, just going back on our tips that we've already talked about. Never max limit break the first node, save those keystones. Only move on to node 2 if you're missing the best or the second best from this guide and you're done with furniture and gifts. If you are moving on, point number 3, only move on using a subnode that has low, normal, or high-grade substances. That's going to give you the option to use those XP activity reports on the next node. And number 4, this is nothing you can do about it. Sometimes the game will just straight RNG screw you and give you an item that's not even in the gambit. All right, and then number 5 is more of an FYI. In node number 2, you could technically fish specific items from furniture to specific gifts, like school gifts, but this isn't really worth it and not something you should really sought after. All right, that brings us to priorities. So number 1, when you're crafting, you're going to be looking for furniture until you're at 2,000 plus comfort. Now that comfort's very important for progressing faster, so you get more energy every day. Now I personally like the arcade set. It gets you all those cool items to make your own video game cafe. But you should really get 7 of each set. Number 2, get gifts for your live 2Ds. We know you want them, so go ahead and get your gifts to level up your 3, 4, 5, 6 students that you want to. Check out my relationship guide on exactly how to do that and which ones you should focus on. All right, and then number 3, that one's pretty easy. Try and fish for Blu-rays, tech books, and growth materials at the highest probability. So we're going to go ahead and go through those probabilities. We're going to show you the worst and the best. So here we go. All right, let's start off with the worst choices in history, which are subtle, metal, and silver. Now, subtle gives you a chance at getting random basic materials. And what I mean by that, you can get a basic XP report, skill material, skill book, X disc, whatever. Metal gives you a chance at getting all types of growth materials, but mostly you're probably going to get a basic XP report. And silver is going to give you a chance to get you XP reports as well, with the highest probability being a 50% chance of, or 40% chance of getting a basic XP report. These are not the ones you should be going after, but if you're going on the node 2, you would choose subtle or metal. But let's take a look at what we get in our practice run of this. Okay, as you can see, that was pretty bad. Oh, rip those keystones. All right, let's move on to the second worst. Now you have brilliant and gold. Now, when I say second worst, you might want to choose these sometimes. Mainly the gold, but so brilliant, you have a chance at getting intermediate mats. That means you can get an XP report. That means you can get skill materials, a skill book, or a 1-star furniture. Gold, you have a chance to get skill materials, and that can vary from basic all the way to superior. All right, that brings us to second best. And actually, you'll end up choosing this one a lot because the next tier is super, super rare. So, shiny and platinum. Now, both of these are great, honestly. I choose shiny all the time. I choose platinum all the time. For shiny, you have a chance to get a random advanced resource. That means you can get an advanced XP book. You can get an advanced skill book and an advanced EX DVD. You can also get a random 2-star furniture or a random gift from that node as well. And then the one on top of that is platinum, and platinum's a good one as well. So platinum's going to allow you to essentially fish a skill book. Your highest probability is going to be a basic skill book, but you have a pretty good shot at getting intermediate and advanced, and then sometimes a superior. All right, last but not least, copper and radiant, the two best that you can do. Now, if you get both somehow in the same subnode, Radiant is better. But Copper is going to give you a random chance at an EX Blu-ray. Now, that could be a basic one or a superior. Radiant is going to give you a random chance at a superior mat. That means a superior skill book, EXP report, Blu-ray, skill material, and also gives you a shot at 3-star furniture. So always choose this one if you see it. All right, thank you guys for hanging out. Once again, like, subscribe, all that goodness. Come follow me on twitch.tv where we play a variety of games. I do appreciate you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you next time.